Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party ain't just lit. Bet it's the littest. Cut. You know we lit. Cut. You know we lit. You know we lit. You know we lit. Turn up, no we lit. Turn up. You know we lit. Let's go deep time. You know we lit. Mrs. Nixon. You know we lit. Kev, what up? You know we lit fresh past the Pearl A Lord. You know we lit Knickerbocker, have a talk to. Let's go! KnicksNIsh. We lit.
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is your favorite KnicksNIsh panel. And of course, yeah, I'm back, y'all. Y'all already know the vibe because I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fast Taz, in the building with the KnicksNIsh panel, never limited to, but always included. The first lady of KnicksNIsh, Mrs. Knicks, is in the building. And join me with a big salute for my good brother Knickerbocker Ave. Press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell. Set it to all so you get all notifications when KnicksNIsh goes live. So I know this is not a regular live that we normally do, but this is an impromptu live that came to the decision about early on, and we just wanted to pop up for a minute, talk about a few Knicks topics here tonight with the panel. So I'm gonna let the panel take it away and get into the first topic, and then you go and hear their takes on it. So nostalgic Nick in the building. Shout out.
Don't forget, obviously, do not forget to visit the KnicksNIsh Shopify right there and cop yourself some merch. You can get that fire KnicksNIsh sweatshirt that Fraz and Mrs. Knicks are wearing today. Mine is still not here yet, so that's why I'm not wearing mine. It is impromptu. It's a Friday night. There is no game. We don't play till tomorrow. Yo, what's good, Big Daddy Praying? What's good, my brother? So it's kind of like we have so many things going on, too much discussion out there in the Twitterverse, in the whatever
the Knicks world,
in Knickerbocker Nation, I used to call it, but it's not even that because it's all about narratives and stuff like that. But we wanted to talk about it. Not to mention, there's just so many things out in the NBA that we can discuss. But let's start off. I mean, the Knicks took care of business the other night. Tea Time and Mrs. Knicks did cover it when the Knicks defeated the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, by 54 points. And that is considered, and I think it is verified, the largest margin of victory against any team in the 77 years of the New York Knicks franchise.
What up, sis?
What's good, Purple Knicks? I'm gonna be honest with you. That game was, I don't know whether I can say that that the Knicks finally got everything out of control, like out of their system in terms of in the bad thing. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm not happy still. It's great to beat Brooklyn. It's always great to beat Brooklyn and shut Nick Claxton and Brooklyn Nets fans up, especially in our own city, on our own home court. But I'm not really thrilled. I'm not happy. I'm not comfortable. I'm still very, I'm still tight about this shit. Fraz, what are your thoughts on that?
Basically, that game was a back on track game. That was a game that the Knicks needed to basically get a win, get out of that bad 9 losses in 11 games slump, and basically just stop the bleeding for a minute. I mean, let's face it, y'all. This team was basically reeling through these 12 games, because we're gonna call it 12 games. right? 3 out of 12 wins. Like, really? That ain't nothing to be happy about, Knicks fans. 3 wins in 12 games? Nah, that leaves, for me personally, that leaves a lot of room for improvement as far as the squad is concerned. Still, even after this blowout win against Brooklyn, there's still a lot of room for improvement. It needs to be done against the better teams. Then, when I see that, then I'll be like, all right, we back. Because let's think about this for a minute, y'all. We started off the season type well, undefeated at home for a minute. Yeah, we had our road woes, struggles on the road, but they started getting it together, started winning games on the road. But the problem lied in, constantly doing the same thing over and over again. I get it. Basketball is a game of repetition, but you're doing the wrong things over and over again. You're missing shots. You're not playing collective defense. And you're letting people run on transition fast break. Those are the 3 things that have been hurting the Knicks over these past 12 games. And again, I'm going to reiterate it for all of y'all out there. I need to see it against the better teams of the league. Then I'll know the New York Knicks is back to business.
Yeah, that's kind of like the sentiment that I had. I mean, yeah, again, it's great. We beat the Brooklyn Nets, and we beat them like they stole something, and we sent them mass packing, across the Manhattan Bridge. But what's been going on over the last couple? We're not going to sit here and act like the last almost month did not happen. The last 17, 18 games did not happen. But let's get another intake. Ladies and gentlemen, the co-host. Set it off for you, boy. He's here.
My bad, y'all. I'm over here running around. I'm in the whip, so I'm not even home. My bad. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
What up?
So Tea Time and Sis did cover the Knicks Nets game the other night.
Right. I thought they did a great job too. Shout out to y'all.
Right. But what is your reaction not only to the game, but how you're feeling right now as a fan? Because like I was just stating now, I'm not going to act like the last month did not just happen. Like that last month of basketball was not atrocious.
Nah, fact. Listen, like to be out. First of all, shout out to everybody. Salute to everybody in the chat. To everybody that pulled up. Shout out to Anna Tea Time for last night for the recap the other night. That shit was great. I watched it. I got some clips that I forgot to put up because I just been busy. But yeah, listen, I thought that as I thought that we did what we were supposed to do. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that we did what we were supposed to do. I mean, we talking about the bum ass Brooklyn Nets. I'm happy that we was able to look like the Knicks of old, but I kind of expect that against a team like the Nets, right? Because like Anna said in that live, if it would have been something else, I would have been flipping my wig right now. You know what I mean? Because it's just that you see this team and you know what the kind of talent that it has for them to be playing the way they were playing. It was kind of disappointing to see, right? Because we have big expectations this season, and the expectations are to win a championship. So we win a cup, and then we hit a wall, but like we hit a wall hard, pause, and then we start struggling. And it's like, damn. So, then they come to Brooklyn and like they just straight manhandled them. And it's like, yo, what? Where you only allow 66 points. Where has this defense been? Where the fuck has this defense been? we've been asking for this type of defense for like the past month and some change, and I get it. It's an 82 game series. You're not gonna win any game. You're not gonna go 82-0, but you expect some type of urgency. We wasn't getting that urgency on the defensive end. Guys was struggling with their shot. We wasn't being creative. The way too many spraying threes is ridiculous. I mean, this guy think we like the Golden State Warriors like from 5 years ago, and I just don't understand it because that's not how we play. If you know what I'm saying. So it was a great tune-up game to watch, but at the same time, it's like, yo, I want to see this against teams like the Pistons, the Magic, teams like the Sixers that we've been struggling with this year. You know what I mean? So if we could get those things fixed, I think we'll be in great shape. But I'm glad that we got that win, that last win. But I want to see wins like that against real, better teams.
Word up.
And that's what I said on the show too. I was happy that we won, because if we would have lost to Brooklyn, that would have been disastrous. But I said it on the show. I need to see that against the Sixers. You can't hear me?
No, go ahead.
Oh, turn it down. My bad. I need to see it against the Sixers. Specifically because the Sixers run a really fast-paced game. And those are the type of games we've been struggling with our teams that have been throwing their pace at us. No, the Sixers have a fast-ass guards in Maxey and Edgecombe, and we're going to have to contain that. And, I think I mentioned it on the show with Tea Time, like the Nets played a much slower pace than what we've been seeing. So I need to see what we saw against Brooklyn against the Sixers tomorrow, and may feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, because you know why the Nets don't have a point guard like Maxey or
Right.
Jalen Brunson or one of those like explosive point guards that's gonna give us problems. They
Right.
got they really like rebuilding. So but once we start facing these other teams, man, like we really gotta be on our P's and Q's, bro. Like.
Right. And because Brooklyn, they got a leash on Cam Thomas, because Cam Thomas could run. Cam Thomas could shoot, but they got a short leash on him.
Yeah, because he'll outrun them and the coaching staff and half the fans. That dude, I wonder if he was a track star in high school or something, because homie is lightning quick. I mean, he's got a deceptive first step, and he can get up and down the court in 5 seconds. Like,
and he can shoot
twice, and he can shoot. So why Brooklyn has been keeping a leash on him instead of unleashing him onto the league and let him develop? Maybe it's just to keep his value down. But I don't know. I think that they have the talent on that bench, and they're just not utilizing them right.
What I think it is that he's all about buckets and not about defense. And I noticed from always battling bum ass net fans and going at it with them. Frasno, what's up? Because we always used to go at it with these guys, and they used to make it seem like this guy was like this greatest player, and I'm like, bro, the guy's a one trick pony. He's really great at getting buckets, but when it comes to defense, your man is like, if he's scoring 20 points, the guy that he's playing defense against is averaging like 27, 28. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the biggest reasons. He's just not I wouldn't say he just doesn't help winning.
He doesn't impact winning. Yep.
I mean, he could if you put him with other guys that that can at least mask his defensive deficiencies. But with that being said, I mean, let's also not ignore the fact that our defense has been horrible. If you just looked at the numbers over the last 10, just over the last 10 games, not even like the last 18, the last 10 games, the Knicks, the opponents are shooting over 37% from 3-point line. They're shooting over almost 46% from the field, averaging on an average of 109.2 for a defensive rating for the team is 116.2, which is around dead or second to last. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just reading the individual stat. And defensively, this team was bad. I mean, straight ass. And I can understand, why Mrs. Knicks, why Kev, we were all saying the same thing over and over again. Bring back Thibodeau. Fraz, what is your position on that?
I don't necessarily believe in all that because at the end of the day, nobody was saying this at the beginning of the season when we beat the Cavs, we beat the Celtics, we came out undefeated at the Garden, and things was looking well. This team is capable of being that. Even without Tibbs as the head coach, you've already seen games where we've shown that. So again, this is just a digression of teams being able to predict things that we do on the court and continuing to cut us off on offense. Like it's the same thing I say all the time. You do the same thing you've been doing, you're gonna get the same result you've been getting. You know what I mean? And until you find a way to change it up offensively and get guys back playing defense like he was early on in the season, beating the top teams, we're not going to look like the same team.
Do you think that, as a follow-up, do you think that the opposition has kind of figured out the Knicks in some way?
Definitely. That's what happens when, listen, this is any of these sports that get scouting reports. All right, let's be real, y'all. Scouting reports. For those of you who don't know, scouting report is something that other teams can look at before the game even starts in order to know your tendencies as a player and know certain things of how you play offense and defense. Now, a lot of teams have great scouts other than the New York Knicks, and they scout very well. A lot of these teams, and I don't even say this to be funny but a lot of teams like Miami, the more higher teams in the league that play well, their scouting is crazy. And that is something that Mike Brown has to understand and say, you know what? I need to start implementing things that teams don't expect us to do. Because now you give teams a level of predictability, then they basically could corner you off, so to speak, on offense and shut you down. That's how we get shut down a lot of these games.
Mrs. Knicks, your thoughts?
I still don't like the coach. There's nothing that anyone is gonna, unless he wins us a chip, I'm not gonna like him. I don't like his offensive schemes. I don't like the way he talks about players in post games and interviews. I don't like how I feel like he's targeting certain players. I don't like how predictable his offense is, the spray three. I don't like the fact that he lied to us when we hired him. So there's nothing that he can do other than win us a championship to make me like him. I do think that, teams have figured us out because we haven't adjusted. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty simple. Like, we're not coaches, we're not experts, but we know what the Knicks are going to do, right? Jalen Brunson's going to bring up the ball. He's going to hold it for a second. He's going to pass maybe to the wing, or he's going to drive the basketball. Cat is going to stay behind the three-point line. The two wings are going to be on the sides. If Jalen passes it, he's going to stand diagonal to the basket. Like, it's so simple. It's so simple. We know what's going to happen. So scouts, of course, are going to know what's going to happen. Guys that watch games are going to know what's going to happen. So we have to draw up plays to make it easier. I think we need to go back to Jalen not bringing the ball up. Someone else bring the ball up, make it easy on Jalen. We have to get Cat involved early to get him going. We need to, switch things up. It can't, yes, we know we have the most clutch player in the league. We have the best shooting man in the league. But we have to maximize their strengths instead of really using it against ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we have to do that. And until this coach figures that part out and makes adjustments and makes the right adjustments, we're going to be in trouble. Like, it's just, teams are going to figure us out. And what scares me is that in this 82 game season thus far, we haven't seen any adjustments from him. So what adjustments is he going to do in a playoff series where we don't have a lot of time to figure things out? It's like, that was like Tibbs' strength. Like, we played a game, this happened, and then there were adjustments the next game. And we saw adjustments the next game. It wasn't it's going to take this long to figure stuff out. So that's the part that really scares me with this coach, is that, so far in all these games, we haven't really seen adjustments. The adjustments we did see, I stand 10 toes on it. That was on the guys. The guys said, fuck this three. We're going to play our game and see what happens. And we started winning games. And then the coach adjusted to that and stood that way. But, not having a coach that can make adjustments early and quick and make them work, it's going to be scary in a playoff series against a team that either has seen us, a team like Detroit, or teams with just veteran playoff guys. It's going to be tough.
Before I go to Kev, if you have an opinion or you have something you want us to address, please hit us up with the super chat right there. We will stop whatever we're talking about and we will address your comment or no, Uncle Paulie, right now I don't. No, sir. Nope. Nope.
I don't even trust him in the season.
No. Tracy Morgan. No.
But to be honest with you, right? I feel like teams do kind of figure us out, because once they see we're not making threes, they like, all right, guard them up at the perimeter. Let's play
easy.
Let's play some zone defense on them and lock them up, because I feel like we struggle every time. And I feel like he lied to us about utilizing Mitch. We haven't barely done that. I mean, we did a few times in this past couple of games, but we need to see more of that. I feel like when he was utilizing, even when you seen Jalen Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns do the pick and roll, that was kind of successful and it was working. And right when Mikal Bridges was bringing up the ball, it felt like the ball was moving freely. I mean, I'm not, saying that Jalen Brunson is hogging the ball or nothing like that, but I felt like you right, Mrs. Knicks. It takes a lot of pressure off of Brunson, but I feel like once teams figure out, like, yo, all right, let's get them to shoot 9 but threes. That's what we do. And then being that he wants 43s a game, I feel like that kind of sets us back instead of attacking the basket. If we could somehow, he could adjust that to make it better during the game, we probably win more. We probably would have won more games than we lost. You know what I'm saying? Because just because of that alone, you know what I mean. And another thing too, though, it's not just Mike Brown though. Mike Brown, a lot of he's making bad decisions coaching wise, here and there, but the players got to step up defensively, man. The effort isn't the same, and I'm seeing it in the stats. Like I love Mikal and OG. You stop here.
Oh yeah.
I love Mikal and OG. I know how I feel about them, but you know, we paid y'all to lock people up, and y'all not doing that. I look at the stats. You all you gotta do is go on the NBA.com and look at the matchup blog. All the players they supposed to be locking up, they not locking them up. They not locking them up. A lot of these guys are killing us. So if you know if these guys like Mikal said it, we got to do a better job playing defense, and Josh too. You know what I'm saying? Like Cat got to do a better job at playing defense, getting block shots with your tall ass. You man tall for no reason, bro. What's up? Like I need you to be more aggressive on the defensive end. Stop worrying about getting fouled, falling on the ground, not getting up, and then by the time you get up, we going back down the other way. That's bad. That looks nasty. So I think that when it comes to this team, like we got to do a better job all the way around, coaching, players. Everybody got to hold each other accountable. That's why I love that interview by Josh today. Like I really don't like sometimes when we go to the media and calling people out, but he called out Karl Anthony Towns like, yo, bro, I don't care about touches. I want to see you play better defense and get more block shots.
Well, that's the segue.
Play the clip.
That is the segue. So let me play the clip so we can talk about it.
You guys made some tweaks to the offense to get Cat more in flow, more in rhythm. Just what do those, I guess, look like? How are they helping them?
Yeah, I mean, just try to get them in positions to, you know, to be successful, whether that's shots or post ups or stuff like that. So obviously, we need him to be aggressive. We need him to be smart, you know, first and foremost, and you know, put the ball in the basket, but also be a hub of getting guys shots. So I think we're doing that, and you know, he just have to make sure he works on, you know, being smart with offensive fouls, you know, and those kind of things.
Well, there you have it. I'll be quick. I always like it whenever players hold each other accountable. I always like it when you can tell that Josh Hart begrudgingly had to address the topic, you know, the question, because obviously when you're in those press conferences, you know, those questions get posed to you. But I think he answered it correctly. He didn't throw Cat under the bus. He didn't put Cat in the position where, you know, it's on you. No, it's like, no, we have to get him, put him in position. We have to do these things. We have to, have to help him to play better, you know, play smarter and play better basketball. And that, to me, that speaks volume, because when it stopped being a he show, me show, and it became a we show, I respect that tremendously, because just like the comment that's been coming up around a couple of times now, and then you can tell the sentiment, I was under that same idea. I think I tweeted it the most in the last few days. Hashtag fire Mike Brown. This is the other narrative that's being put out there, but I think Josh handled it correctly, and I tip my cap to him for, you know, addressing it the best way he could, because I'm pretty sure he didn't want to be answering questions about his teammates, and more importantly, it's not a he should or me should. It's we should, and that's, you know, that kind of cohesion is important to me, and of course to the success of this team. Braz, what are your thoughts?
I mean, at some point it was gonna be addressed, but you can only respect the fact that you don't throw your teammate under the bus in the eyes of the media. It's bad enough the media already got it bad for the New York Knicks and its players and everything that entails the New York Knicks. You know what I mean? It's good to see constructive criticism, because how else you as a person is gonna be able to learn and be accountable without a little constructive criticism in your life. You know what I mean? Constructive criticism can only be a good thing when it comes to this team. And yeah, it is about accountability because at the end of the day, that's why you brought in a Mikal Bridges. That's why you brought in an OG Anunoby for guys to be accountable on the defensive end. We've had discussions about this on KnicksNIsh, and it's still relevant now. The fact that accountability on defense, guys need to start being more accountable and get themselves in a better position to play defense. You know what I mean? And again, that question could have easily went left if Josh Hart would have answered it differently. That question could have went left, and then the media would have had a frenzy about it. You know what I mean? So I respect Josh for taking that angle to it and saying a team thing as opposed to an individual thing. Because a lot of people don't read between the lines. And most Knicks fans is already thinking, oh, Josh is going that cat. That's not the case here. That's not the case here. Just wanted to make that clear.
Well, yeah, especially like every single podcast is already saying that, guys don't want to play with Cat. People can't stand him or stuff like that. And I hear that narrative on other shows and stuff like that. And I'm getting annoyed by it because it's like, what evidence do you have to support this? It's like, I'm willing to listen. I'm always willing to listen to an opinion, but give me facts. Don't give me, a theory just because he's doing this and this, because you don't see that's not being broadcasted on television. That's not translating into television. And you're not hearing that in post-game interviews. But Kev, what are your thoughts on that one?
I just think you know how it is. People like to create narratives and use the Knicks for clicks to boost up their viewership and get likes and all that shit. Because I don't think there's no friction in our locker room. I just think that guys, who really wants to lose? You know what I'm saying? I think when you lose, people get frustrated, um, and things happen. But I think we got a bunch of guys that hold themselves accountable, and these guys, despite what people say that they don't like each other, I think that's a bunch of bullshit because you would notice that on the court, like you said, you would see that on the TV, you would see that the bickering, like BJ Edgecombe and what's the name? Tyrese Maxey just went at each other the other day. They literally arguing on the sidelines. You don't see that even when we lose. Like you see guys, they holding each other accountable. They telling them what they did wrong, and then that's it. They leave it alone. On to the next. And I think that we have a great culture on the Knicks. So I'm not really too concerned about what the media and these people gotta say, but it is what it is.
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard the interview, it kind of bothered me for a couple of reasons. One, this is why I hate New York media. They always try to bait the guys with their questions. And it's like, why would you ask him specifically about Cat when all the trade talks are about Cat? When all Knicks fans are starting to turn on Cat, why is he now the focus and y'all baiting the Knicks players to discuss what we feel is his weaknesses? You know what I mean? I kind of feel what Nick Loyalty said, like, I don't think it was a sucker move on Josh's part. I think it was a sucker move on the media, but it's true. There's other guys on the team that have issues that we need to address as a team. And those are never focused on. Right now, the focus is Cat and how terrible he's been, and his body language sucks, and he don't want to be a Knicks. He's on the chopping block, and the same shit we seen with Randall at this point. And so that shit annoyed me. Am I cool with the criticism? Yes. We all know defensively, Cat has issues that it needs to be addressed. Has he been playing better defense? Yes, when he's involved in the offense. We see it night in and night out. Does he need to do better with offensive fouls? Absolutely. We talk about it almost every damn show. We mention it in our private chat during games, every damn game. I don't know if that was an issue before he was a Knick because I didn't watch the Timberwolves, but it's definitely an issue now. But the media just wants to continue this, Knicks fans against Cat nonsense. And then Knicks fans just continue to buy into the nonsense, which is even more annoying. I'm cool with the constructive criticism because he ain't lying. He ain't lying nothing he said. So I'm not mad at that at all. But why even ask the question? You already know the fucking answer. You know he's going to say Cat needs to work on defense. Again, this is why, in all the years we've been Knicks fans, plenty of all-stars, superstars, NBA legends have said, I'm not going to New York to deal with that nonsense.
It's funny that you say that because a lot of the people that's crucifying him are the same people that wanted him on this team and wanted to trade Julius Randle for him. And they used to crucify Julius Randle the same way they crucified Karl-Anthony Towns. Next thing you know, we tearing off posters and stomping on them like they did Julius Randle. It's like deja vu all over again. It's an every year thing when it comes to this fan base. That's why I just be falling back and I laugh because it's things like that. It's never gonna change, and that's just not with the Knicks. It's with the Giants. It's with the Yankees, the Jets, to a certain extent, the bum ass Nets. Like it is what it is.
Uncle Paulie, that's what I'm saying. You want to shoot 43s, but don't want the big man that shoots threes to shoot threes. I don't understand.
But the thing is like I'm not mad at Cat when he shoot threes. The ones that drive me crazy are the ones that's like midway half court. Like, bro, come on, bro.
But those are the one he make.
Yo, bro, but most of the time he missed them. Most of the time he misses them. And those are the ones that drive me crazy. Like, I'm not mad if you shoot whatever how many threes a game, but just don't be shooting them half court joints, man. Cause I'm like, come on, man. Sometimes we be trying to get back in the game, and here you go to shoot one of those.
I think the problem that I have with Cat, with the utilization with Cat, because I try to play it fair for Cat because I have to look at it like this. Over the last 3 years, he's had 3 different head coaches. 3. He had whoever the coach is from Minnesota, Tom Thibodeau, and now he has Mike Brown. 3 years, 3 coaches, 3 years, 3 different philosophies, 3 different teams, 3 different situations and offenses. And Cat knows how to play Karl-Anthony Towns style basketball, whatever you want to call it, however it is. And you say, and so when Mike Brown came in and to try to incorporate this new system, my method in thinking is that, okay, so you're going to utilize him a little bit closer to a traditional big man. You're not doing that. So you're going to accentuate his outside shooting ability. Not really doing that either. So what do you want him to do? You want him to continue to start his possession at the top of the 3-point line for him to then put the ball on the deck and then try to go, take it to the cup, knowing full well,
and then get an offensive foul,
and then also get caught with the hooking. It's like, if you know that your player has a tendency to do that, then why don't you, I don't know, stop putting him in that position and maybe let him utilize his 7 foot, 245, 250 pound frame, 70, I think it's like 76-inch a wingspan, and actually, I don't know, let him work the post and let go, try out a traditional inside out game. I don't know, something like basketball. I don't know. Is that so much to ask for? I mean, this is called basketball, not shootout. And this is why I've been so adamant about firing Mike Brown. He saved himself with not only a victory over the Brooklyn Nets, but a very heavily convincing and monumental victory by 54 points. But now you're going to Philadelphia tomorrow. Philadelphia has already beaten you twice on your home court. What are you going to do? How are you going to defend VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey? I'm not worried about Joel Embiid. Embiid is going to do what Embiid does, whether he plays or he doesn't. If he doesn't play, that's what Embiid does. If he does play, Embiid's going to do what he does. Doesn't matter. I'm not really that concerned about Paul George, but I am concerned if you have Edgecombe and Maxey running up and down the court, you're going to leave him open. And Paul George is still Paul George, no matter how old he is or how many ligaments he still has in his legs. So that's another thing you want to factor in.
Let me jump in real quick because I think the Embiid thing is important because as a coach, I mean, us fans see it, but as a coach, you need to be attacking him because that man has no hops. He can't get off his feet. You need to be attacking him to make him play defense because he can't. You have to disrupt him. And when we played them the last two games, Knickerbocker, we didn't see that. We saw Embiid couldn't move, right? He was damn near immobile. He couldn't get off his tiptoes. He dunked the ball on his tiptoes. He can't move. So why not have Cat put pressure on him to defend, get him in foul trouble? That's one less person we got to deal with on the court.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. When the last time we played the Sixers, Embiid barely left the floor and still had his normal. I think he still had 18 points and like 10 rebounds. Barely getting off the fucking floor.
Right. That's
why don't you do what Mrs. Knicks just said? Attack him, make him uncomfortable. If it's gonna be the VJ Maxey show, why not make it the VJ Maxey show and take Embiid out of the equation? That at least gives you a fighting chance. Even if the shots aren't dropping, it gives the Knicks at least a fighting chance to win the game. I'm not even doing that. Instead, you're getting blown out by by 16, 18 points to the 76ers, who as of right now, they're in 5th. They're a game and a half behind us going into tomorrow's game.
Yep.
I don't feel very comfortable as of right now. Fraz, how about you?
Ain't no comfort zone right now. I already told y'all that. Simple as this. Listen, there's a tough stretch of the schedule coming up in February. All right, where the Knicks is playing most teams above 500, most teams in the top seeds in the conference. So that is going to show me where we stand. And it does start with the Sixers. And Sis said it absolutely right. We should be going right back to the same thing that we did against Philly in the playoffs. Attack Joel Embiid. Why? He's not 100%. Certain lateral movements he does not make as quick as he used to because of that movement. So guys not taking advantage of going to the basket, that only hurts because even a half-ass Joel Embiid is still trying to give 20 plus every night. And there's no reason why a half-ass Embiid should be scoring 20 points against this Knicks team. I mean, simply put, it's just like how teams play to take away our people. We need to play to take away their people. Because, you know what I mean? It's like we need to play to take away their people. Take their people out the game. Go after guys who's in foul trouble on their team. Like, do the things that these teams have been doing to us all these games. Like, why aren't we? Yeah, why aren't we attacking teams like teams be going at us? Like, bro, take these team stars out of the game. Make these teams benches beat us because these teams don't have the bench capability like we do.
And it's like, why not have Mitchell Robinson defending Embiid? Like, we know he can handle him. We've seen it. We've absolutely seen it with our own two eyes. Like, Embiid is not going to have his way against a Mitch Rob where he's going to test Cat. You know what I mean? Like, and then get Cat into foul trouble. Like, we have to play this smart. And I'm sorry, I'm not sold on this coach being able to coach smart.
Yeah, so Fraz was just talking about it. This is the upcoming schedule. Look at that schedule.
Yeah.
That is not pretty. Philly, Sacramento, at Toronto, home for Portland, then host the Lakers. I mean, we get some reprieve there with Washington because they're not, they're all about tanking. They don't want to give us that pick. And then we're playing Denver, at Detroit, at Boston, in Indiana, back in Philadelphia, back at home with Detroit. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I don't even know how we're going to address this, considering where we were just, over the last few weeks, from NBA Cup champions to NBA chumps. Now, Kev?
I mean, to be honest, this stretch of the season is gonna show us what we're made of, and it's just that plain and simple. You know what I mean? Like you said, the Sixers ain't far behind us. I believe Toronto's right on our ass. Pause. We already know Detroit; they hate us. So this stretch of the season is gonna make or break us, to be honest. Because if we go down in the month of February the way we went down in January, we might as well kiss the season goodbye. I mean,
and I think one thing that I don't know if y'all mentioned is VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, they destroyed us in them first two games, man. Like, I think they was more the problem than Joel Embiid was.
For sure.
Those two guys are the ones that we really, really, gotta put some kind of play some kind of defense on them guys. Them guys were doing whatever they wanted and they were making shot after shot after shot after shot, and we had no answer for them. And they were running up and down the court on us. So if we go into one of those games playing like we did into the Garden, we about to get swept by Philly. We can't. We about to get swept by Philly, bro. Because the last game, I was frustrated watching that game. I was really frustrated because they were doing whatever they wanted with us.
But you know why? Because one, we don't defend the three well, and Maxey can shoot out the gym.
And VJ Edgecombe was shooting the shit out of us too.
Right, and VJ Edgecombe is fast as hell, and we can't control the pace.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So if
this team in the NBA, and it goes back to the one thing that Fraz continues to tell us over and over again: transition defense. We can't transition for the life of us. And if you can't even at least attempt, because it usually would fall on Mikhail, on Josh, and OG to be those transition guys. Lately, I've been seeing Brunson getting caught back there, and then all of a sudden he has to defend four guys. And we already know he's already considered one of our worst defenders anywhere, and it's not because it's not because of lack of trying, it's because of lack of size, and he's having to guard four guys, all 6'7" and above, and it's just ridiculous. So if you can at least get Bridges, OG, and Hart to get back on transition, at least, I mean, just the attempt, just the effort. I'm not asking for perfection, because obviously professional basketball teams are going to do what professional basketball teams do. But can you at least give us that fucking energy and effort? I mean, is that too much to ask for? Am I asking?
We talked about it, I think, show ago, and I mentioned it with T-Time on the last show. Is transition defense, I mean, clearly it's our weakness, but are OG and Mikal capable of being good transition defenders? Like, we know they're good defenders, right, when they're set, but transition is different. Transition is they need to be as fast as the guys that are bringing up the ball, which against a Maxey and Edgecombe, they're not, right? Like, can they get up and down the court and play defense at the pace that Philly plays? That's the problem. You know, Mike Brown was so stuck on our pace is going to be fast, and it hasn't been. And because it hasn't been, and because our guys are just not fast guys, right? They're just not. Let's just be for real. The fastest guy probably on our court is going to be between Deuce and Tyler, to be honest.
I don't think Tyler qualifies. Maybe Dadier. Dadier looks like he's a track star. Maybe McCullough too. McCullough can probably get up and down the court. That's about it.
But I don't, not even at the pace that Philly goes though.
Oh no, fucking them two boys. They run up and down the court like they're on fucking like, you know, they're on
Skates.
speed. They're on
Right.
speed or some shit. They're on some 5-hour energy bullshit. That's some. Ugh.
So I think that's the problem, is that our best two defenders can't keep up with them.
Not only that, but even if you keep on doing, if you keep on, doing switches and you keep on having guys, you give them different looks. You give them an OG, you give them a Mikal, you give them a Deuce, you give them a Kolek, you give them this. There aren't enough guys that you can keep on throwing them to be, good defenders to keep up with them, because you don't have to keep up with them for 48 minutes. You have to at least keep up with them for a good portion of 48 minutes, because you're not going to stop them. You're going to try to slow them down. That's the key. Not that, because no one's going to stop anybody. Shit, the NBA is an offensive-driven league, as the great Domstradamus will always tell me that. But when you don't get the defensive effort from, for 48 minutes from Deuce, you're not getting it from Kolek, you're not getting it from Jordan Clarkson, you're not getting it from Yabu, you're not getting it from, you can't expect any more from fucking Hart. He just came back from an injury. You can't expect any more from OG. You can't expect any more from Mikal. Who then you go to just put a body in front of either two of these fucking, the Roadrunner and Speedy Gonzalez? Take your pick on which one is which, because these two are meet bye bye. You're already on the other side of the fucking court, and that's the one thing that that kind of concerns me, especially when we bring up this next topic real quick, because in the last game, this happened.
Yep.
So Jordan Clarkson was benched in the fourth quarter of I think it was mostly
the fourth quarter. He was benched the whole game. He didn't come in until the fourth quarter.
That's the thing that kills me with Mike Brown, though, because Jordan Clarkson, I get it, right? He's not the same JC of old, right? But watching him play, like, he really tries and puts in the effort. You know what I mean? But I think that sometimes his decision on the offensive end is what gets him cooked sometimes. But I don't understand the benching. Like, bro, you bench him, but you don't play nobody else. I don't understand that. Like, if you're gonna bench him, play Diawara more, play McCullough more. Give them guys some minutes. Don't just take him out the game and then that's it.
I mean, I think for that game, for the Brooklyn game, I understood why it happened, because Shamet was hot. Shamet was fire. So you don't take him out and put in Clarkson, right? Clarkson has been hit or miss for us. But at the same time to not, as a coach, communicate your intentions. You know what I mean? Like by halftime, you knew you weren't going to put him in the third quarter, right? So at least as a coach, you know, be professional, give him a heads up, like this is what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So it's not kind of caught off guard. And then he goes to the media answering questions where it's kind of like, I feel like he did a good job in answering them, but you know, New York media, you know, New York fans, they're going to run with it. So just so y'all know, after the Brooklyn game, during the post game, which there's no video of, but we got the quotes. Jordan said, I read the room, I see what it is. I'm just a vet coming here, doing my work, staying ready. When I'm playing those minutes out there with the young guys, I won't take nothing away from them. It's just being a pro, talking to them out there, trying to get them in their spots. Just gonna try to keep continuing to play the game the right way, help those guys grow, and continue to get better is all I can do. I can help any team in the league. I help winning. You saw it earlier in the year. I know I got a lot left in the tank. I can impact winning wherever. I just got to stay prepared and control what I can control. So that's the part that I don't like. The fact that, you know, the media are having fun with us, with the whole cat thing, with Yabusele on the trading block, and all this nonsense. And then you leave, you know, you don't communicate and allow for, you know, comments like this to be said, and again, have us in the media looking crazy.
Jordan Clarkson has been hit and miss for me all season long. There hasn't been a moment where I'm like a true Jordan Clarkson fan. I'm happy he's here. Don't get me wrong. His reputation's preceding him, but this season as a Knick, there have been a number of different moments where I keep on when I'll be watching and I can't stand what he's doing. Like genuinely, I can't stand what he's doing. Like sometimes he's taking crazy 3-point shots. Sometimes he's taking ill-advised, making ill-advised passes and or you know missing defensive assignments. It is what it is. I mean, we understood that from Jordan Clarkson. We understood what kind of a player he was, and he can be a straight three guy. So he's definitely a Mike Brown kind of guy. But the fact that he got benched, I'm with Sis. I mean, I don't know if that was communicated to him, like he was aware that he was going to be benched. Kind of a little messed up though, because you know, as Jordan alluded to, he is a pro. He is the kind of person that you know. I'm sure you can go talk to him and figure out what's going on, and instead of, you know, lambasting and talking shit about Cat into the media, why aren't you, Mike Brown, talking to your player and figuring out what you can do to help them out so they can better the team? I don't know. Do that thing that you came here to do. That shit called coaching, mentor, being that adult in the room. You know, being the voice of reason. Being have that one voice, one direction, that kind of shit. But maybe I'm just talking nonsense. Maybe I'm just talking. I'm too old from from my method of thinking because I figure that's what you were here to do. But I mean, if we're winning and it works, I'm for it. If it ends up becoming an issue down the line where it affects Jordan's progress and it affects the team's ability to win, then you're just adding one more reason as to why you need to fire Mike Brown.
Right. And I've said it like the last show, like this team, like he has to adjust. Did he make the right decision in the Brooklyn game? I think so. Sherman was hot, right? Like why take him out, right? But then when you think about the game before where Deuce was off and there was no adjustment, you just let Deuce run, right? Like that's what doesn't make sense to me. Like in a game where Deuce is struggling, why not put someone else in the same way, you decided to not play Clarkson and let Shamit run it. What bothered me too with that is that in the post game before the game before the Brooklyn game, where Mike Brown was like, I told them just do their fucking job, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, I think I know what to do. I know what to do. And so you know what to do. Then the next game, you don't play Clarkson as if he's the problem. He's not the problem. He's part of the problem, right? Because again, you don't know which Jordan Clarkson you're getting on what night. And to me, yeah, he's not the Clarkson of the past. You can still see he's still got game in him, right?
Right.
So does it mean you're not using him correctly? Right? Because you're using him like the point guard, and I don't think he's that anymore. He's not that. He's not looking to create for other people. He's really, once he goes into the paint, he's not looking to create for anyone. He's looking to create for himself. So maybe you should be playing him like a 2 instead of a 1. I'm just saying.
Well, perfect segue to Fast. Can I get the focus for 2 seconds? Because the numbers don't lie. And let's get inside the numbers of Jordan Clarkson real quick. I'm going to keep it short and sweet and simple for y'all. Since the start of January, Jordan Clarkson has only shot 75% from the field and 24% from three-point range. Y'all really think those numbers is numbers that contribute to success? Not in today's NBA and not in any NBA I grew up watching. So let's be real about it here. Do you want a guy continually playing off the bench who's only shooting 35% from the field? The numbers don't lie, folks.
People lie with numbers.
You know what I mean?
Kev, anything you want to add?
I agree with y'all. You was definitely right about Sham Wow going off, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, we kind of missed that from Sham. But y'all all right about it. You know, I just feel like, you know, we brought him here for a reason. I mean, you're right, he's been inconsistent, and I can see why. But he just gotta keep working, stay ready, and you know, hopefully, he comes out whatever hole he's in right now, because he's struggling. You know, Mike Brown just gotta figure it out.
Which kind of like I have to ask the question to the entire panel, because going to this season, what was the thing that we were kind of hoping on? Because this was kind of like the big component of what was missing from our championship.
The bench
was the bench. What was the 2 key additions? Jordan Clarkson and the next guy.
Yabusele.
Yeah, Yabusele, man.
So I'm gonna say this too, and I think this is a front office issue to me, and we said it during the off season, right after they fired Thibodeau, right? Like, you're signing these guys before we have a coach. You know what I mean? Like, you're bringing in guys, and I know like it's the front office job to do it, but if you don't know the type of offense that's being run, you're bringing in guys to do what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know that Mike Brown would use them. We don't know, you know, how they will fit into the system. We don't know. So the Knicks front office kind of screwed up, because the first thing should have been a coach, and then you sign players. Like, to me,
common sense would dictate that. However, that kind of goes back to the whole conspiracy theory that I've heard over and over again, which I start to really believe more and more. Tom Thibodeau was fired not by Leon Rose, but by owner James Dolan. But that's neither here nor there. Kev?
I mean, when it comes to the front office, I mean, I feel like they're gonna do not everything is gonna work out, right? It's the same thing. When our first year we won 41 games, we made the playoffs, and then it was that drop off after they signed Evan
Kevin.
Neal and Kemba Walker. So I think that as sometimes we're gonna make mistakes. We're not always gonna hit it out the park. I think you're right. We should have waited until we got our coach, so that way he could decide what kind of players will fit his system better. Excuse me, better than Jordan Clarkson, and Yabusele. But who knew this would happen? You know what I mean? Because of Jordan Clarkson, I know he was dealing with injuries last year, but Yabusele, he had a pretty decent year last year. So, we was kind of expecting him to be, that bench piece that we missing, like, what's this guy that we had, Precious. You know what I mean? We was expecting him to be that, but it hasn't worked out. Um, will it work out? I don't know. I'm hoping it does, because I was kind of excited that we signed him, because the way he played last year, he gave us size. He was a pretty good player coming off the bench, a nice little spark. But who knows what happens, man? Like, I hear there's a lot of teams interested in him, so I'm all about, if we can improve our bench, and maybe he could be a piece with somebody else to bring in some guys to help our team, because I think our benches right now we're going back to what we had last year, struggling with the bench, and if we can add pieces to that, I think this team will be better off.
I'm so confused by what this tweet that's coming up. Also, so are the Knicks other players, because Mitchell Robinson actually responded to that,
He did.
and I'm sure that they probably text each other on privately. Does Yabu know something? Has he been told that he is going to be traded specifically tomorrow?
Well, this was yesterday, so it would have happened today.
Right.
And as far as I know, and I know that we're not supposed to really talk too much about trade speculation, but the only teams that I've heard are interested in Gershon Yabusele is the New Orleans Pelicans, which works around perfectly for Kev's boy, because there's a certain somebody that he would like for us to trade for, but we're not going to mention names, but
don't forget the Spurs too. I heard the Spurs are interested in him too.
I don't know.
I mean, I think regardless of who's interested, I think he is the one on the chopping block.
Right.
Because
he's the obvious one.
Right. It's obvious. Like, he doesn't get any burn. He isn't beneficial for us as a team. So might as well not waste his talent on our bench, right? Get what you could get, even at this point, if it's picks. And it's unfortunate, because like Kev, I was super excited. Like, I bet we got a better Precious, and the fuck we did. No, the hell we didn't. No, the hell we didn't. He looks a little heavier than what he played in Philly and in the Olympics. And he just doesn't fit this system. He just doesn't. Now, maybe if it was in another system, it may have worked and he was healthy, like in good shape. But I don't know. He doesn't even look like the same player.
A quick question for everyone on the panel before we move on. Are any of you convinced? And anyone who wants to chime in, please hit us up with a super chat. We would love to hear from each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us on an impromptu Friday night KnicksNIsh. I'm gonna coin that shit. Fuck that. But here's the question: do you guys think that Gershon Yabusele's performance last year with the Philadelphia 76ers was a product of the fact that he had just a whole lot more opportunity with all the injuries that that kept him out, and he banked on it? Or is he really that good?
I mean, if you can show it,
That,
if you can show it on the court, regardless of whatever, then you're that good. I mean, it's just a matter of, again, it's kind of the same thing we're seeing with everyone else on the team, like Cat. Everybody's saying his numbers are down, but if you're not put in a position to be successful, then this is what happens, right? Your numbers go down. You don't look as good. The only thing with Yabusele is, physically, he doesn't look like the same player. Like, go look at him in a Philly uniform and look at him in our uniform. Like, he looks a lot heavier.
And not in a good way.
but I do agree to a certain extent though. You got all these injuries. Paul George is out. Joel Embiid is out.
Maxey was out.
Maxey was out for some time. So yeah, him and Grimes were taking advantage of their opportunities. That's why Grimes got what he got. You know what I mean? And he got what he got. And then you come to the Knicks, and we pretty much, ever since we hired that one trainer from the Dallas Mavericks, I forgot his name. We've been okay. You know what I mean? So he's not gonna get the same opportunities with us as he would with Philly. You know what I mean? Because our guys are pretty. I mean, I know OG went down with an injury and Josh, but I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation for him.
But for me, it's not really an opportunity, because when he does get on the court, early in the season, he didn't know what the hell he was doing, and now he barely gets on the court, right? So
Yeah.
talent is talent, whether you have the opportunity or not, right? Like, if you can play a certain way of basketball, that's just how you play. And so I think, he had opportunities on this team earlier in the season to show that he can be a productive player on this team, and he didn't take those opportunities. And now we're seeing him play practically third string minutes. You know what I mean? And even in third string minutes, he doesn't look good. Like,
No.
that's the thing.
Yeah, right,
You know what I mean? Like, when he played in them minutes in Brooklyn, he still didn't look good. You
True.
can't look decent against Brooklyn, who were smoking by 50 points. Shit, I'm not putting you in a game against Detroit or Philly or anybody else for that matter.
I mean, I'll be the first to say it. I thought he was turning the corner early in the season, but he's digressed even further since that point. I told y'all he was turning the corner here on KnicksNIsh. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I really thought this guy could be somebody who we could have utilized off the bench, not because of his performance in the Olympics, not because of his performance on the, but because of his overall style of play. I thought he would be a good fit here, but obviously I was wrong, and I ain't afraid to admit that here. You know what I mean? So, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, he's definitely been underperforming, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a trade go down with the New Orleans Pelicans. Eves Missy, anybody? Do anybody know who that is? Because I know who that is. Bring that guy Eves Missy over here. I bet you he gonna be somebody productive for the New York Knicks. Cause that kid can ball.
But the question is, will they get burned? That's the motherfucking question. Is
Well-
anybody else other than who we see every night getting burned on this team? No.
Well,
No.
There's a couple of mock trades that have been thrown out there, and I'm not too thrilled about any of them, but one of them is Yabusele and Dadier to the Pelicans for Alvarado and Missy.
Yeah, that was the main one. That
There may be like a
Yo,
second
Av,
round
who,
in there.
Av, who was it for? For who?
It was Alvarado and Missy for Pacome Dadier and Yabusele.
Yo, bro, let me tell you.
I know.
I
You ain't gonna tell me.
Get it done. I'm gonna tell you these 3 words. Get it done. Trust me, I know my brother. He's gonna say, "Get it done." Leon Rose,
yo,
get it done.
get them guys out of here.
Trust me.
Where are you gonna find the minutes to play both of them? If Yabusele is barely getting the floor and Dadier hasn't seen the floor in 3 weeks.
Well, hold on. Let me add in real quick on that, because he's missing. It's a big man that does rebound. He could be another rebounding piece for this New York Knicks, and he's looking to score. I'm not saying he's like a prolific scorer, but he will give you a 15-point game.
Yeah, Fraz, but the question is, where does anyone other than the 8 guys that we see every night playing, where do they get minutes?
I mean,
regardless of who we bring in, where are they getting minutes? Because
you can justify it a little bit because remember, you can justify a little bit because of the minutes restriction they have on Mitch right now. And
yeah, but that's not going to be all season. That's not going to be all season.
And eventually that's going to go, like you said, it is going to go away. And eventually he's going to start playing more games because this is his contract year. He does have to, he becomes a free agent at the end of the season. So.
And not only that, the Knicks are only doing this, not playing every other night and minutes restriction because they're trying to hold him off for the playoffs. They're trying to make sure he's 100% for the playoffs. And so the closer we get to playoffs, they're going to ramp up his minutes more. They're going to make sure he plays every night. So regardless if the Knicks move someone or don't move someone, we're going to see less and less guys playing, regardless of the fact that, we were told that we're going to play more guys, more guys on the bench are going to get burned. It's not true. There was another lie. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree with that.
But the same amount of guys.
But I think that I think that if we make a trade, right?
Happy birthday, bro.
Yo, what up, cuz? I think that if we make a trade now, though, it goes back to where, like, okay, now Mike Brown is the coach. He can actually pick guys that
You broke up, Kev.
they don't really fit our system. So here we go. Let's use these 2 guys and let's go find some guys that would fit. And maybe if these guys fit our system, then maybe some way somehow he'll open up some minutes for those guys, especially for a guy.
You
broke up, Kev. You breaking up.
This little dude is like Mighty Mouse. Okay, like I swear to God, I get when I watch him play and he's healthy, I get excited watching him play, bro. He's he plays like a pit bull. So if you put him and Deuce there, I guarantee you Mike Brown is gonna find a way to get that man minutes because he could be small. You see how real small guy, but bro, defensively, he's gonna give people problems.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the deadline coming up pretty fast.
Right, and like even if we don't get the other guy, Sadiq Bey's out there. He's another guy that would fucking, give us a nice little sparkle off the bench. Because it's like you said, man, like, yeah, we went and signed Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson, but like you said, we didn't even have a coach. So we didn't even know if these guys were gonna fit their system or not.
I do know this, and this is my prediction, because we're starting to wrap up, to head out of here. But I don't want to say this. I'm going to anyway. I think that there is a trade to be made. The Knicks are going to make that trade, but it'll happen after February 1st.
And it's going to be for a bench. It's going to be a bench.
No.
It got to happen before. It got to happen before February 8th.
Yeah, right. But
Mhm.
the reason I'm saying February 1st is when certain contracts become fully guaranteed
And
and
you
fully
know
tradable.
when who they gonna move? That's the big thing. Like who they gonna move?
I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to throw gasoline on the fire. But February 1st is when most, if not all, of this of the free agent signings that they made this offseason, become guaranteed and tradable because there's a trade restriction. Those restrictions fall completely off.
Yeah, February 1st.
Therefore, there are so think about it to yourselves, and you guys can speculate about it. But if there is going to be a trade, whether it's a big one, a huge one, or a small one, it will happen around that time because I think that there's going to be something down the lines. I fear that it's something that this coach wants, not necessarily what this team needs, and we're gonna be talking about it, and we're not. I don't think any of us are gonna be happy about it. I'm just putting that out there in the world.
Well, I'm gonna say it right now because I've said it already. If y'all trade Cat, I'm done. I'm done. Done.
Damn.
I still don't think he's being traded. Though. I honestly think.
Happen, but if it does, there's so much heartbreak you could cause yourself. You know what I mean? And I've been a fan a long time, right? I'm 43. My mom was a Knicks fan. My grandparents were Knicks fans. This shit just runs in my blood. But I'm not gonna keep causing myself heartache.
But to throw in
the destiny.
But to throw in the towel on Cat after only 2 seasons is like what?
Yeah.
2 seasons, yeah.
Season and a half. Yeah.
Nah, we call this the second season. Really, this is the second season. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying 2 seasons. If y'all wondering why I'm saying 2 seasons, I count this whole season as the second season. All right. And my thing is this: the first year you saw a glimpse of what could have been. This year, yes, you're going to see some digression because it's a new coach, new system. That's just natural. That comes naturally. But at the end of the day, to throw in the towel on Cat. Didn't y'all just restructure his deal?
I'm over it.
I'm not aware of that, but
isn't he up for a contract? Isn't he next in line to get a contract?
No, Mitchell Robinson.
He's one of the next three people because Mitch is next, followed by Cat, and then somebody else. Because I think Mikal Bridges got his deal already. So
his contract becomes tradable at February 1st.
Okay, so with that being said, what would be the point of the New York Knicks to throw in the towel now when you haven't even gotten your full money's worth, so to speak? That's all I'm saying.
Well, because
Cat is not due a contract until 28-29.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he still had 4 years left on his deal when we got him. So he has 3 years left on his deal.
He's making about $61 million in the last two. So
he's making what, $59 million this year, something like that. I believe it's 50.
53.
Oh, okay. It was a little higher than 53, but
close to 57 and change with incentives.
Yeah, that's what it was. The incentives. Okay.
But we'll see. We'll
definitely.
Oh, Kev's on.
So we got one more topic, right? The Paul Pierce nonsense. So I'll just play the clip real quick and we'll talk about it real quick. But I'm sure we're all going to say the same thing.
Want to change something? Actually get together. They take time out of their own time. They gravitate, and then we talk about solutions.
I don't think they like to play with Brunson.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that,
because it's like, dog, you got all these.
He's your
weapons.
best player.
He's definitely best player.
He's your best
but
player.
I don't think they like to play with him because they so inconsistent. When you got guys like Anunoby who's averaged the dub in this league, when you got guys like Mikal Bridges who's averaged the dub, and they over here open or need more touches.
Hey, take it over to coach. I'm getting money. I'm the best player out here. Follow, right? When you follow, listen, when you label somebody on your team the best player, We've also said that we trust you with the ball and your decision making and your bucket getting and your playmaking and that, right?
Yeah.
If you want to touch the rock more, then you gotta go talk to Mike about, you know what I'm saying? Or hey, call me a player, son. Let me, like, this is what I'm saying. You still gotta have a conversation.
So let me say this. Paul Pierce is a fucking hater. That man just like having the Knicks in his mouth. No pause on that one. Cause bro, anything Knicks, this man wants to talk about. I tweeted KG and I said, y'all need to call him the lie. Cause this nigga talks so much bullshit. And that's the fact. If they don't like playing with Jalen Brunson, why would they have come? And for the ones that were traded here, why would they have re-signed? If they didn't like playing with Jalen Brunson, why re-sign?
At a discount.
Following his lead, right? If they didn't like playing with Jalen Brunson, they wouldn't be fucking Knicks. Let's just be for real. Let's just be for real. And then you're talking about guys that played with him in college. We're talking, this is not nothing new. Yeah, OG is new, but Mikal ain't new. Mikal know what it is. Mikal played with him before, right? Like, so who don't like playing with him? Tell me who, because it definitely ain't Mikal. I doubt it's OG. So who are you talking about? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And like, why is this the topic of conversation when this ain't the same conversation you have about other teams that have superstars that the team is underperforming, right? Like, where's this conversation with other teams? Why you don't talk about, oh, they don't like playing with Halliburton, or they don't like playing with, I don't know who else, Maxey, when Philly's not playing well. You know what I mean? Like, why is it? Because it's the Knicks. That's why. Because you just hate the Knicks. Just say it. We know it. Just say you just hate the Knicks. You're going to say everything that's bad about the Knicks, or make up these narratives that's bullshit, because no one has ever said they didn't like Jalen Brunson. Even the guys that gotten traded, even Quickly, Randall,
Dante,
RJ. None of them have ever said, Quentin Grimes, none of them ever said JB was a bad guy, anything bad about JB. You never heard it. Even the people in Dallas don't talk badly about Jalen Brunson. So where the fuck you get this from? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
Nah, it's nothing to be confused about, sis. Let's face it. Don't you see Jalen Brown and Paul Pierce have the same Knicks hatred sentiment? Like, we talking about Paul Pierce, a guy who literally was betting out of his ass last season and had to walk to work because his hatred allowed him to make a decision that ended up backfiring on him. Now, let's not forget other stars like Jalen Rose, who, of course, was part of the Knicks-Pacers rivalry. He's also a Knicks hater, too. You know what I mean? But to come out and literally say guys don't want to play with Brunson, then why did guys sign here in the first place? Then why did guys want to come here in the first place? You know what I mean? And shout out to Kevin Garnett, real talk. Because Kevin Garnett, you have the real basketball IQ out of the two guys. All right. This is why you was a beast at your position when you played basketball in the 90s, coming straight out of high school. Your IQ is up there, bro. And everything Kevin Garnett said is to the T. He's right. He's spitting facts. Like, listen, you don't make Brunson the captain for no reason. He's the captain. He's the guy who's making the plays, who's facilitating. Is a level of trust that goes with garnering that. Let it see on your jersey. All right. So Paul Pierce, man, just hang it up already, bro. Like your takes have been. You starting to give me Gilbert Arenas vibes, bro. For real.
This is what we're gonna say every time we
Listen,
talk shit about the Knicks. This is what we
Fred,
put up every time.
Fred, is he really starting to give you Gilbert Arenas vibes, or he
Nah,
already had Gilbert Arenas
yeah,
vibes?
yes. Take it away. You said it right. Yeah, he
Because
definitely.
let's be real. I would like to ask old Boston Celtic players to see if they like playing with him, a guy who averaged almost 20 shots a game and only had averaged 3 assists throughout his whole career. When did you ever pass the ball to anybody?
Hold up. I know two people that really did not like playing with him: Rajon Rondo, Isaiah Thomas. Oh, and Ray
Right.
Allen, and then Ray Allen, who left them
And
to
then
go.
Ray Allen, who don't even talk to you.
Right, yeah, because we
Right.
came. Yeah,
Like let's be real. The only reason why you won a championship was because Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett decided to sign with the Boston Celtics, because before that you couldn't even help the Boston Celtics make the playoffs. Those teams were trash. The Boston Celtics were trash before Kevin Garnett and those guys got there.
and
So
let's not forget, Kobe Bryant had his number before Kevin Garnett and them got there.
right. So, like, did those guys like playing with you because you didn't impact winning for Boston for a long time until Kevin Garnett and them guys got there? So, I don't know about you, but Jalen Brunson, since he's been here, he's impact winning. We've gotten better every single year. We've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 20 seasons. Like, bro, you can't if guys didn't like playing with him, we wouldn't be doing all those things. We wouldn't be getting better every single year. Guys wouldn't come here and sign just to sign here. Before, we were struggling to bring guys to play here. Now guys love playing in New York City. So,
Facts.
Paul Pierce is just a capper. He has a degree in capping. He's one of the worst basketball analysts in sports, period. You know what I mean? I keep saying it. That's why I'm telling you, they ain't fire him because of the smoking weed and being with stripper incidents. He got fired because he's a bad analyst and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Why you think Kevin Garnett probably added Tony Allen to the mix? Because Tony Allen is a smart guy and has some kind of IQ when it comes to basketball. Because Paul Pierce is just a capper. He's a hater.
Oh, you talking about Tony Allen used to play for the Grizzlies? Tony Allen,
Yes.
defensive. Tony
Yeah,
Allen?
Yeah, he's on
yeah.
video now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why he added Tony Allen to the mix, bro. Because let's be real here. When you hear Paul Pierce talk, bro, he just be saying dumb shit all the time. That's why I don't listen to him. I always, listen, Kevin
Yo,
Garnett, right? Every time he played the Knicks, I'm sorry, Fred. Hold that
okay.
thought real quick, and I'm gonna land the plane. Every time Kevin Garnett played the Knicks, he killed us. But you know one thing that I give him right now, since we've been a good team, he has nothing but great things to say about the Knicks and the Knicks fan base. He really rocks out with us. So, I give Kevin Garnett his credit, but he need a new co-host because
Fact.
Paul
Oh,
Pierce ain't it. Paul Pierce ain't it, bro.
listen, Paul Pierce, man. I ain't gonna lie. I know I smoke loud, but bro, put the loud down, man. That shit got you bringing all
He's
discombobulated, fuck.
smoking block work, bro.
La traca. Put the traca down, man. For real, Paul Pierce, because it's something about the hatred for the Knicks. Even in some of these former superstars, you could see it. Like it's crazy, man.
All right. I'm gonna tell you something about me. When I got out of the military in 2003, my first job out of the military was working security at a company called the Upper Deck Company, a trading card company. And working security around my first the first or second month, we get a guest, an honorary security guard. And I had the honor and the privilege of actually spending time with Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett is probably one of the coolest, most genuine, real people you'll ever meet. That's why I have always had the utmost respect for him, because he recognizes talent, and he respects people for who they are and what they do. And he tries his best to not talk, negatively about someone, because you can tell his mama raised him right. Paul Pierce, on the other hand, the truth, is the complete and utter opposite of what Kevin Garnett is. I would actually subscribe and watch that show more meticulously and religiously and be a subscriber and do this stuff if Paul Pierce was not on that fucking show. Because I kid you not, Paul Pierce is one of those kind of characters that just, there's nothing good about this person. Because all they want to do is continuously talk the same bullshit, because you are no longer fucking relevant. Paul Pierce hasn't been relevant since maybe 2008 when the Boston Celtics won their championship. If you really think about it, we just demonstrated that he was probably not even relevant then either, because if you look at it, Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo and Doc Rivers, they all had to be part of the fold in order for Paul Pierce to be of any kind of relevance of any kind. Now, I may understand why Kevin Garnett keeps Paul on this show. That's his boy. He's looking out for him. I got nothing but respect and love for that, for that perception. But why this motherfucker has a microphone, has a voice, and has the ability to say the shit that he says, and people actually gravitate or listen to it, is beyond me. Because a basketball mind would stick to basketball and not just creating narratives of, I don't think that people want to play with Jalen Brunson. Really? How did you deduce that, Paul? I really would like to know. Are you at Madison Square Garden? Are you conducting any of the Knicks practices? Are you in the huddle? Are you in communication with Coach Mike Brown? Are you in communication with Rick Brunson or anybody at Madison Square Garden or the New York Knicks? Are you talking to anybody, or are you just sitting there smoking your L and talking all the dumb shit because you think that what you fucking have to say has any relevance or any kind of impact? I swear to you, Kevin, if you happen to be watching, your boy Angel from Upper Deck Security from back in 2003 would actually watch your show more religiously if that motherfucker would just get off the damn show. I will listen to anybody else. I will watch him. I will watch KG. I will watch Tony Allen. I'll even watch Gilbert Arenas. I'll watch Matt Barnes. I'll listen to boring ass Grant Hill or boring ass Udonis Haslem. But please do me a favor. Do us a favor. Do the NBA public a favor and get this no nonsense having motherfucker off the damn show, because all this idiot does is use sound clips because he thinks he's actually relevant, and he hasn't been relevant ever since. Kobe Bryant had his number. You made him relevant with Rajon Rondo and Doc Rivers and Big Perk and Ken and all those Celtics from that thing. That's the only reason this motherfucker is of any kind of relevance. Aside from that, Paul Pierce, please get the Knicks dick out your fucking mouth. For real though. Because it's getting on my fucking nerves that I have to constantly come here and defend some stupid comment you've made. And you have no ground to stand on other than, I used to play basketball once upon a time. So please, for the love of God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yo, I really was like, if he ain't gonna do the soundbite, I'm gonna do it for him.
Because really, honestly, Paul Pierce.
Doesn't matter what you think.
That's a fact. But we're at almost 2 hours. That's insane on a no game.
On an impromptu show.
But we play
dope.
tomorrow at 3
to
my time. So we'll be here about 6:30 probably.
6:30. So we'll be back tomorrow night, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on KnicksNIsh.
I will say before we go, anybody in the wake of this storm that's passing this country, if you I guess it's hitting Texas now through the rest of the weekend and going up east. Everybody, please be safe. Please don't go out if you don't have to. Don't drive. Stay warm. As long as I have power tomorrow, because we're supposed to get hit tonight into tomorrow. As long as I have power tomorrow, I'll be here. But everybody, please, please, please stay safe, because from what the news is saying, it's not going to be a good storm.
I stopped watching the news. I don't believe everything the news says, hence why I don't listen to all the bullshit rumors, but sometimes they're good to talk about.
Crazy.
But yo, seriously, everybody be safe out there. If you know, be sure to continue to like and comment on the show, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we're closing in on that mark. Be sure to hit up the KnicksNIsh Shopify and cop yourself some merch. Guys, any final thoughts before we head out?
Fuck Philadelphia.
All I want to say is tell a friend to watch KnicksNIsh, man.
Lee, you stay safe in Dallas too, because boy, it's cold out here already.
Well, I know one thing. As long as I got power out here in PA, I'll be here for sure as well. I mean, we're supposed to get hit pretty bad from what the news is saying. But do remember, the weatherman is the only person in America who gets paid to lie to you every day. So let's keep that in mind, folks. You know what I mean? But other than that, I hope everybody does stay safe, stay warm. You know what I mean? And
fuck Philly.
You know Hit the yeah.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party just lit. That is the littest.